Hi guys, welcome back. So in this lesson I'm going to explain a bit about passing chords. Now the reason this video is called Passing Chords Explained number 1 is because I plan on making quite a few videos on passing chords, since it can be quite an in-depth topic and there's quite a few different techniques of going about it. So what are passing chords? Well, they're basically like temporary stepping stones between chords that adds more harmonic variety and interest to your playing. An important thing to remember is that passing chords don't have to be in the same key that you are playing in. They can actually be much more effective when they are not in the key that you are playing in. So in this video I'm going to focus on what is called secondary dominant chords and chromatic passing chords. Now they may sound like some big crazy words, but it's actually relatively simple. The key thing to remember whilst we're talking about this is the fact that a dominant chord always resolves to a fifth below. So for example, a G7 chord will resolve to a C chord, since C is a fifth below G. The concept behind this is to add a passing chord before a target chord, you can play the dominant of the target chord. So let me explain that. If we had the chords C and A minor, and we wanted to add a passing chord in between them, we would look at the target chord, which is the A minor, and ask what is the dominant of A minor. So if we just go to the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have an E. So E7 would be the dominant chord which resolves to A minor. Or if we change the inversions around. So therefore we could play our C chord, and before going to the A minor we add in our passing chord, E7, which takes us nicely to A minor. And if we wanted to get to, say, an F major 7 chord from here, we play the dominant 7 chord, which resolves to F. So that would be a C7, and then we can play our F major 7 chord. So suddenly, what was quite a boring chord progression of C, A minor, and F major 7, we've now got this very interesting harmonic progression. So to play this type of passing chord, all you need to do is add in the dominant 7 chord, a fifth above the chord you are about to play. This is a really nice straightforward way to add variety to your chord progressions. Another thing I want to talk about is chromatic passing chords. Now this is a very similar concept to what we just went over, except that instead of playing a dominant 7 chord a fifth above the target chord, we're going to play a dominant 7 chord a half step above the target chord. So I'm going to put this idea into context using a major 2-5-1 progression. If you're not familiar with the major 2-5-1, then go and check out my video which explains all about it. So here is our major 2-5-1 in the key of C. So between each chord we can add a dominant chord a half step above the following chord. So we begin with our D minor 7 chord. And next is our G dominant chord. So between these chords we can add an A flat dominant chord, since that is a half step above G. So here is an A flat dominant chord. And we can actually play a ninth, as that sounds a bit better. And we can literally just add this chord between our D minor and the G7. And then again, before the C major chord, we can add in a D flat dominant chord, since it's a half step above C. So here is a D flat dominant. And again, I think I'll probably play the 9th. And if we play this in its second inversion to fit a bit better with the position of the other chords, then we can just slip this in between the G7 and the C major 7. So altogether we have this. So you can really hear the difference from before compared to after we've added some nice passing chords. So these two tricks are really useful, and you can mix and match them as well. For example, if we play that simple chord progression we had earlier, C, A minor, and F major 7, we could play the secondary dominant for the first passing chord, as we did before, and then we could add a chromatic passing chord in between the A minor and F major 7. So that would be an A minor, and then an F sharp dominant to an F major 7. So we have C, E7 passing chord, A minor, F sharp 7 passing chord, and F major 7. So you can hear how much they add to your chord progressions, and they can really transform your playing into something really cool. So play around with these ideas and apply them to chord progressions or songs that you already know. You will find that some combinations work better than others as well, so the more you practice them, the better they'll sound. So I hope you guys found this lesson useful. If you did, make sure to subscribe and hit that little notification